Hello friends, and welcome back to another Tarot and Oracle Pick a Card. Today's Pick a Card is all about exploring your shadow self. Now, I do just want to give the disclaimer that exploring your shadow self can sometimes be difficult. It can be painful. It can trigger a lot of emotions within us. So, if you are not ready for this topic, I fully understand if you click off this video, okay? I am honestly expecting some potentially negative comments just because if you're not ready to shine light on your shadow, then what is hidden there may be painful, may be hurtful to you. And it can often trigger people to want to fight back, to prove that part wrong, okay? So I'm going to say it right now. If you're feeling defensive about what I'm telling you, it more than likely means that that is actually a part of your shadow, whether you want to admit it or not, okay? So if you are ready to explore the shadow side of yourself, then let's get started with this pick a card. So in front of you is 4 different piles. Pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. There is no right or wrong pile to pick. Just pick the pile or multiple piles that are calling your name. What are you drawn to pick? Because we all have different aspects to our shadow, because we all have different hidden triggers and different hidden aspects of ourselves. That's essentially what a shadow is. You may find value in multiple piles, okay? If you feel drawn to pick more than one, perfectly okay. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And if it doesn't resonate right now, it may mean that it wasn't right for you. If you feel drawn to watch this video again in the future, that information may make sense, okay? So this video is not really a one-time thing. If you feel drawn to come back to it, please do. So without further ado, the timestamps are listed in the top pinned comment as well as the description box. Let's get started with pile 1. Hello pile 1, how are you guys doing today? So today we have a combination of tarot and oracle cards to help us understand what lurks within our shadow. So starting off, we have the Sun card, the King of Wands, the Hanged Man, and the High Priestess. Okay. So first off, I feel like you guys may have been suppressing your spiritual side. This could be because of religious upbringings where your spirituality and that religion do not really coincide or mesh well together. It could be, people telling you that what you believe is perhaps evil or perhaps wrong. Or it could just be you feeling like you don't belong to the religion that you were brought up in and feeling like there is something more. So right off the bat, the cards do want you to explore this side of yourself. With the Hanged Man, this is a change of perspective. This Hanged Man is looking in a different direction. So again, I feel like this is something that you have been turning a blind eye to, something that you've been looking away from, something that, like the energy of the High Priestess, is something that you were told was bad or evil or something like that. And now as you are growing up, growing into yourself, you're realizing that that is a part of you, that is a part of potentially your belief system, and you are willing to, now that you're dealing with this shadow, open up to that side of yourself. With the Sun and the King of Wands, this is stepping into your own personal power. I feel like this sun is really, once you start this process of shadow work, the sun is really going to help illuminate things that have been in the darkness. But I do also want to say that shadows are not always negative. This could be something that you were passionate about as a child or a teen, and then you didn't get the positive reinforcement that you wanted for that aspect of yourself, so you shied away from it. By shining light and reigniting that passion, you will be able to push forward with your dreams and your aspirations and where you want to go. Lots of energy about where you want to go in the future. With this King of Wands, he looks so defeated, and I feel like this is kind of the energy surrounding what you have put in the shadows. This is the energy of what you've suppressed. It's not even so much that it's negative, it's that I'm feeling a lot of negative reinforcement or lack of positive reinforcement towards this energy. So it's almost like you stopped getting the energy that you wanted in return for whatever this happened to be. Again, it could be a passion, it could be a talent that you have. It's something that you really wanted someone to tell you good job, something that you really wanted someone to tell you I'm proud of you for doing, and you didn't get that energy. With the Sun card here, it's telling you to be proud of yourself and give yourself that praise that you've been looking for. Okay? No place like home. With this card, again, I feel this is very much childhood innocence. This is something that you have been desiring since childhood, but again, you didn't get the reaction that you wanted, so you just kind of, you pushed it off, you put it in the corner and said, like, I can't do this. So I'm feeling like a lot of this shadow work for you is dealing with what you were told as a child, in relation to whatever this dream may have been. And you have the card of no, wait, postpone, pause, say no, and the inner temple, devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. Yeah. So your shadow really revolves around, I'm feeling like, two big things. Like I said in the beginning, we don't only have one shadow, we all have multiple shadows. And I really feel like you have two major shadows going on. One regarding your spirituality or religious beliefs, and two regarding this passion that you suppressed because you did not get the praise that you wanted from it. With this inner temple card, devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. This is you reconnecting with this high priestess energy. This is you reconnecting with what you are passionate about in terms of your spirituality. So whether this is stepping away from an organized religion that you feel kind of forced into, or whether this is, changing religions. Perhaps you are a religious person, but the religious upbringing you had is not how you see yourself going forward. Your beliefs don't line up, and you've kind of been pushing your beliefs aside because of what other people will think of you, because of what your family might think of you. So with this inner temple card, even if you don't feel like right now you can physically step into this role as a spiritual being versus a religious being, or changing your religion, if you don't feel comfortable to do that publicly, acknowledge that spot, that temple within you that feels right. What are those beliefs? Whether it is God, Godza, plural, goddesses, deities, the universe as opposed to a being, or even it could be atheism for some of you. What does your heart really believe in terms of outside of your human experience. And learn to embrace that. Again, even if you can't admit it to other people, it's okay to admit it to yourself. It is okay to follow that passion, whether it be through researching, reading, or talking to people in a safe environment. With the no card, with the wait, postpone, pause, say no, I feel like this is the other side of the spectrum. This is what you're feeling you're forced to be doing. Again, this could be a religion that you're feeling forced to participate in. It is time to acknowledge that that is not a part of your path. That is not a part of your future anymore. And it is okay to step away from that, okay? Even like the card said, postpone it, pause it. It doesn't mean that you will never relate to that religion or spirituality or whatever it is. It doesn't mean that you will never be involved in that again. But if you're really feeling at a dis-ease from that kind of environment, that kind of thinking, put a pause to it and explore what you do feel comfortable with. Okay? Again, with this Hanged Man card, this is a change of perspective. This is you changing what your beliefs are. It's changing how you feel about kind of the universe at large, like on a bigger scale. Okay? Let's go with your numerology cards next. So you have the card of 13, which is effort, and 32, which is music. And that's very interesting. That really makes me think back to this Sun card and feeling like there was something that you were passionate about that you stopped putting effort into, that you were not given the praise that you wanted. Perhaps this has to do with music. Perhaps you've always wanted to play an instrument or sing or even, create music of some kind. Or perhaps you were just passionate about music in general, but no one gave you the time or energy for that effort that you were putting out. No one praised you for it. No one told you that you could do this as a career. Perhaps it was because of their own fears as opposed to your talent. If you feel like you are a talented musician, if you feel like this is something that you do want to do for a living, then it's time to shine light on it. It is time to reinvigorate that passion. Bring back that effort, because again, it doesn't matter if someone says, oh, you can't do that for a living, because especially if you are, say, a child or someone who was a child in, say, the 90s or the 80s or even earlier, it's a completely different world. Wanting to be a musician in the 80s may have been completely different. If you were taking music lessons as a child, but your parents are saying it's impossible to actually make a career as a musician. Look at how times have changed. Before, you may have needed a record contract, really worked hard to get your name out there. And now with the magic of the internet, there are so many possibilities. Whether it is putting your music out there on YouTube, whether it is making music for other creators, whether it's making music for movies, film, like that kind of thing. There's so many more possibilities with this digital age. Also, digital creation of music is also becoming a lot more of a thing instead of just like an instrumental or a singer. Now, it doesn't mean that if you are a singer or say you play the violin, it doesn't matter. The world is so big and so interconnected now that it is a lot easier to get your name out there. It's so much easier to find your audience. So much more easy now with this digital connected age versus, say, in the 80s or 90s. Okay? But again, this doesn't have to be about music. With the music card here, I do feel like some of you may be musicians, but this could be anything. This could be an artist, this could be acting, this could be whatever you are passionate about. Same kind of example. If at some point you felt like you could never make it in that kind of a career because of limitations of society, we now live in this huge interconnected society, and it's amazing what we can do now. So pull that talent out of the shadows and embrace it. Embrace that as being an aspect of you. And I'm sorry, my dog is barking. So let's move on. We have the card of vertigo. Whatever you choose will be correct. And euphoria. Honor yourself. So again, both of these cards really speak well with this Sun card. This is about embracing what feels good to you. This is about trusting your instinct, trusting yourself, and knowing that who you are, what you feel are your talents, what your beliefs are, it is okay to be that person. You know, those thoughts that you have been suppressing, those thoughts that you have been saying, like, no, I can't be that person because XYZ. We all have our excuses, right? It's time to honor yourself. It is time to understand that your thoughts, your feelings are valid. Don't let anyone ever tell you that your feelings are not valid. I feel like that is a huge message for some of you who picked pile 1. Do not let someone invalidate your feelings, especially when you are working through this. Like, don't let someone tell you that you can't be sad. Don't let someone tell you you can't be angry. Sure, we can, like, there may be helpful suggestions on how you can move through those energies and how you can move past those energies and those feelings. But don't let someone ever tell you that those feelings are invalid. Okay? That really speaks with this King of Wands here. Just this exhaustion from having to validate yourself. The exhaustion from always having to feel like you need to prove yourself and prove that your feelings are okay, or suppressing your feelings because you just don't think anyone's going to understand. So you are valid, you are worthy, and you are correct in your feelings, okay? Then we have the card of the Arrow and the Journey. So again, this is pointing the direction in which you want to go, embracing that direction. If you can see a vision of where you want to be in the future, if you can see that bullseye, go for it. Shoot your arrow at that target. Trust that that journey is yours to be had. We're not talking about someone else's reality here. We're talking about your reality and your journey and your experience here as a human being in this temporary existence. Okay? We don't need to prove ourselves to others. We need to prove ourselves to ourselves. We need to understand that we are valuable, that we are knowledgeable, that we are wise. If you look here on top of the Journey card, there is an owl on top. You know the expression, the wise old owl. This is trusting your knowledge, trusting your intuition, trusting that you are capable of doing what you believe you need to do. Okay? So I feel like your overall message here, pile number 1, for your shadow work that needs to be done really revolves around 1, your spirituality, perhaps coming out of the broom closet, embracing spirituality versus religion, or it could be religion, not judging that on any front, but I do feel with the High Priestess, it is very much spiritual. And then with the Sun card, this is shining light on things that make you feel good, things that make you feel motivated and excited, inspired, things that you stopped doing because someone else wasn't a fan of them, or things you stopped doing because someone else didn't praise you in the way that you had wanted to be praised, okay? You need to focus on you, focus on the positive aspects within you, honor yourself as a human, as a spiritual being, and honor your talents. You know, take time to practice those talents. Take time to be grateful for those talents. I do feel like these shadows have really been imposed on you since childhood with this Home card. This is something that you've been dealing with for a long time. And because of that, it may be buried deep under layers and layers and layers of darkness. All we can do is peel back layer by layer. Focus on when you feel like you need to validate something. You know, if someone says something negative to you about your opinion, you feel like you need to validate it. Why do you need to validate? Really ask yourself, like, why do I need to explain this desire, this passion to someone else? If you understand within your core, within your being, why you are passionate about something, why you enjoy something, why it is who you are, you shouldn't have to explain it to someone else. You should just live it, okay? So that is your message if you picked pile number 1. I hope this helped to shine some light onto the shadow aspects of yourself. If you liked this kind of video, please hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Love, light, and happiness to all of you. Have a fantastic day. Bye, pile 1. Hello to all of you who picked pile number 2 for this Exploring Your Shadow Tarot and Oracle reading. We're going to start with your tarot cards. So you have the Page of Swords, the Tower, the 8 of Wands, and the 5 of Cups. Okay, whatever your shadow is, pile number 2, you guys are running from it. This is something that you really do not want to admit to yourself. It is something that honestly makes you afraid. It is something that has hurt you in the past. So this could be trauma. With the Tower card, I almost feel like this is like uprooting. So maybe you moved a lot as a child. This could be centered around the divorce of parents or unhappy circumstances in the home. But it's something that you are running from. This could be a block to relationships. This could be a block even to self-love. It's almost like you are just expecting some kind of hurt, some kind of pain. And so instead of experiencing it, you're just going to keep running from it. And until you shine a light onto this aspect of your shadow, you will always be running from it. Okay? We have Not For You and Between Worlds. Okay? Yeah, this energy is not yours or wasn't yours to begin with. Again, if this, so I'm feeling that this could be a broken home situation. This could be abuse even as a child. With the Between Worlds card, it's like you have a hidden world from your childhood, and then you had the world that you showed everyone. And that world that you chose not to show is where you need to shine light, especially if this is hindering you now. If you feel like this is really preventing you from embracing relationships, if you feel like this is preventing you from expressing who you are, if you feel like this is preventing you in any way, it is time to shine light on this. Because especially with this not for you energy, I feel like this is a lot of observation from a child. So this might not even be physical abuse, but it doesn't negate your experience at all. I'm not saying that it's any less of an experience because it might not have been physical. Emotional abuse is still abuse, okay? Neglect is still abuse, okay? And I'm sorry for this shadow, because I do feel like this was very much imposed upon you in a very strong negative way, okay? I'm really feeling for you here, like it's strong energy. This type of shadow work may not be something you can do by yourself. This may need help of a professional, someone like a psychiatrist, psychologist, therapist, someone who is trained in helping with, I'm gonna say with trauma, with stress disorders. This could be very deep emotional pain, which you may not feel confident, feel strong enough to approach by yourself, and that is perfectly okay. That does not invalidate you in any way, shape, or form, okay? In fact, it takes a very strong person to admit that they do need help, okay? So if you feel like you need help breaking through this shadow, do not be afraid to ask and seek the support that you need, okay? So we have the card of you're already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. And then we have Pillar of Light. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. Okay, so with those two cards adding to the story, I feel like, yes, you guys have already started to shine a light into this shadow. With the Pillar of Light card, I am feeling like you guys may have very spiritual vibes, very psychic vibes. This could also be very empathetic energy, which may be why you've shut down to this shadow, why you've run from it, because it is a lot of energy, and it's really hard to not take that energy of someone else into you if you're empathetic and you don't know how to protect your energies. With the already doing it card and the stop overthinking, it's like you exist in this place where you are consciously running from this energy, maybe even every day. And you are constantly kind of, it's something that might linger in the back of your head, really presenting itself as fear potentially. You know, this could be if we're in a relationship that, or I should say, if you have a hard time committing to a relationship, that could be this shadow. If you find yourself stuck in an abusive cycle, whether it is physical or emotional, it's potentially because of this shadow. Now, I'm not blaming someone else's actions onto you, but I'm more saying that because of this shadow, you find it hard to break that habit. And I really want you to embrace raising your vibration, embracing who you are as a being, as a pillar of light, as a being of love, and a being who is worthy and deserving of love, okay? We don't have to exist in this energy of pain, of hurt, We don't have to, and we also don't have to keep running from it. It's almost like the further and further you run, the closer you seem to be getting. So instead of like closer to the fear that you seem to be getting. So instead of running from it, it's time to stop and turn around and almost break down this tower. Instead of waiting for someone else to break it down, instead of waiting for something to happen, take it down yourself. Stop letting it be a source of frustration and a source of fear. Take charge, take control of it. Now again, easier said than done. This is not going to be an easy shadow to break down for a lot of you, but you are capable of doing it, okay? So your numerology cards, environment and health. Interesting. We have the Between Worlds card and the environment card. This could mean that for you to truly break through this shadow, you may need to uproot yourself. You may need to change your environment. You may need to go somewhere that you feel safe. Has there been somewhere that has always called your name? Somewhere you've always wanted to go? I mean, this doesn't have to be fancy. This could even, it also doesn't even have to be long term. Like this could be going somewhere for a vacation, somewhere, a retreat even. Perhaps a mindfulness retreat, or a retreat for people who have similar experiences to you. But it is about focusing on your health, your mental health, really. Could also be physical health if we need to find safety. If someone is hurting you, please find somewhere safe, okay? We have translucence, love the darkness, and doable. The key is within your grasp. Okay, with this love the darkness card, for some of you that's really going to feel like a slap in the face, and I fully get that. It's not about loving your abuser. It's not about loving the pain that you've been through. It's more about loving what that has done in terms of who you are. It's about loving who you have become. Shitty situations happen. They do. But how do we grow and evolve as individuals through that darkness, through that pain? Okay? We don't need to validate anyone who has hurt you here. It's about validating yourself even in that darkness. Forgiving yourself because you didn't allow this to happen. You didn't manifest this into your life. You didn't ask for this, but yes, it happened. And through that darkness, you have become the individual that you are. And it's not about fearing that darkness, okay? It's about loving that darkness so you can see what an amazing person has come through it, you know? It's not even so much shining a light on your shadow in this case. It's about shining a light on you so that you can see that you still exist even in the times of darkness, okay? And then you have thunder and the ancient ones. With the thunder card, I'm getting very stormy vibes from this. It is, at times it can feel like the calm before the storm, the calm before something else happens, right? Especially with the lightning on this tower card. the thunder and the lightning. It's like you see the lightning and then you're just waiting and waiting and waiting for that thunder to come, right? Because the sound of light is, or the speed of light is quicker than the speed of sound. So you see it and then you're waiting and you're just kind of anticipating that next event. And it's almost like we need to step with this Between Worlds card as well, step out of that pattern where you're always waiting for the thunder, for the next event, and step into the calm after the storm. It may still be wet, it may still be gloomy, but the storm is gone, okay? We can step away from this storm. So with this, Ancient Ones, I do feel like a lot of you may need to connect back with your ancestral roots. Connect back with your heritage, with your loved ones. This could even be not even so far back, but if you're feeling if you're feeling like you have been pushed away from your parents or your grandparents, if they're still alive, this may be making amends with those people in your life, with your family. Sometimes, we push family away, and especially if this trauma that I'm sensing, if it was potentially a divorce, and you felt like it was your fault that your parents divorced, it may be time to have a discussion with your parents about what you feel happened, and to talk to them about your childhood and express your feelings. This isn't to make them feel bad. I mean, your parents were doing the best that they could with the circumstances, with the information that they had, okay? Most of the time, your parents were doing the best that they could. And if you've blamed them for something that really was out of their control, it may be time to forgive, okay? I'm not saying you need to forget, but it may be time to forgive. But for others of you, this may just be connecting back with your ancestral wisdom, connecting back with your roots of who you are. Again, this could be something that you've been running from. This could be something that you were perhaps persecuted from or persecuted for, and therefore shied away from. If you feel comfortable, this may be worth investigating, looking into, connecting deeper with, especially if you're feeling like you're at home with your ancestors, okay? Ultimately, your message, pile number 2, for exploring your shadow self is to understand what it is that you're running from. Okay, we have the roadrunner and a horse here. There is something that you are running from, and really I feel like it is exhausting you, and it is time to stop running, whether it is just confronting this head on and saying, this is not my energy anymore, or whether it will be a more slow, methodical practice that may involve getting professional assistance. But my message for you, pile number 2, is that it is okay to stop running, okay? Find a safe environment where you can focus on your physical health as well as your mental health, okay? It is doable. It is within your reach. It's within your grasp. And I do feel like a lot of this energy that you're holding on is not for you. It was put upon you. It was imposed upon you, but it is not yours, and it is okay to let go of it, okay? So that is your message if you picked pile number 2 for the Exploring the Shadow Side of You Pick a Card Tarot and Oracle reading. If you enjoyed this reading, please hit the subscribe button and I'll see you in the next video. Love, light, and happiness to all of you. Have a fantastic day. Bye. Hello to those of you who picked pile number 3 for this Exploring Your Shadow Self Pick a Card reading. So let's get started with your tarot cards. You have the Empress, the Ace of Pentacles, the Devil, and the 8 of Cups. Okay. I feel like a lot of this energy is surrounding your femininity, is surrounding your sexuality, and also around your worth. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to be or identify as a female. We all are a balance of masculine and feminine energy, and I'm feeling like for pile number 3 here, those of you who picked deck number 3, this has a lot to do with your feminine energy. This could be your fertility, whether you are a man or a woman, or however you identify. This could be in regards to your sexuality. This could even be in regards to your physical appearance, okay? This could be a lot of shadow work in regards to how you see yourself. Body dysmorphia is really coming to mind. Perhaps even some of you have struggled with eating disorders, and a lot of that is because of this shadow, okay? So the first oracle card that we have is To Be Fair. And there's a lot of balance on this card. She's got the scales here. And I feel like it's, again, it's you not being fair to yourself, especially with the concept of body dysmorphia. You may see yourself different than other people see you, whether, and this could be both sides of the scale, whether you see yourself as too big or too small, too short, too tall. I'm not going to invalidate your feelings towards yourself, but it's more about why are you invalidating your physical self? Why do you feel the need to change who you are? What is lurking in that shadow? Again, if it's something like you're too short, who has defined that? Who has defined your worth on you being too short? Opposite, too tall. You know, is it because, like, who or what made you feel like you were too tall? Again, too skinny, too fat. Where is that oppression coming from? That is where your shadow is. That is where you need to shine your light. Why are you feeling that way about your body? Okay? I'm feeling like that is the, the devil on your shoulder telling you that you are not enough because of something in regards to your physical body. Okay? With this Ace of Pentacles here, I'm feeling like this is a lot of worth, like physical worth wrapped up in this shadow. So this could be, it could have even been a parent telling you that your body was not how it should be. Or it could even be watching, because I am sensing a lot of feminine energy with this Empress here. This could have been you looking at your mom growing up and hearing your mom talk negatively about her own body, and then you perceiving that is how women talk to themselves. That is how women feel about their bodies, My mom was never confident, despite the fact that to me she was the most beautiful person in the world. And therefore, maybe that's how I should feel too. I can't be beautiful if this woman who is a goddess to me, the woman who gave birth to me, or just mothered you if you were not living with your biological mother, if this woman who you looked up to was never pleased with her body, then why should you be pleased with your body, right? And is that energy yours, or is that a shadow lurking, right? Either way, I feel it's a shadow, because we are all human. We all have this temporary human body that is just a vessel for who we are, and it should never define us. It should never define our worth, okay? And then you have the card of happy, happy. So it's almost like your happiness is wrapped up in this. It's, you know, it's you saying, I'll be happy when, you know, I'll be happy when I lose 50 pounds. I'll be happy when I get this mole removed. I'll be happy when I finally become a parent. Well, why can't you be happy and then have those things? Why can't you be happy even if you don't get those things, right? With this Eight of Cups, with this Salmon, I'm feeling a lot of fertile energy. So if you are struggling with infertility, I really want you to focus on the dialogue that is going on in your head over your self-worth because of this, okay? I'm not saying it's going to cure your infertility. I'm not claiming any of that kind of thing, but it's more about helping you process the information and not beating yourself up for something that may be out of your control, okay? And then we have the card of take a break, a life's work, not a season, get off the treadmill. So that card is about not rushing things. It's not about rushing through life, especially if this shadow is a lot around your physical body, and especially weight loss. Don't expect change overnight. Sure, you can want to wake up 50 pounds lighter. You can want to quantum jump and shift your reality into that reality, but also be aware that part of the process is learning who you are on that journey. Part of the process is learning your body, learning what your body needs, learning what your body likes and what it doesn't like on that journey. Allow yourself to experience what you need to experience as you go through life. It's not about just getting to each goal. That's another shadow within itself, is why do you feel the need to always be at the end? Why do you always feel the need to just complete and complete and complete, just finish things, get it over and done with? Why are you rushing? Slow down, be mindful in the moment. Well, that's interesting. We have manifestation. And then love partnership. But with this manifestation and love partnership card, it's almost like this shadow is really preventing you from seeing your worth as a partner in a loving, romantic relationship. So if this is about your physical body, it's like, well, no one's going to love me if I'm this size. Who says, right? Your dream partner should love you no matter your size, no matter your physical appearance. If your souls are meant to connect, it doesn't matter what your physical body looks like. Your physical body should be a reflection of your internal self. And when you can feel that connection, then the manifestation of your physical form will change to meet up with that internal vision. But don't put your self-worth as a partner on what you look like, especially if you're feeling like you cannot attract the person of your dreams because of this negative talk that you have going on in your head. Watch your thoughts, watch your internal dialogue. That will really give you an indication as to your shadow in this circumstance, because I feel like your shadow is lingering just under the surface. This isn't deeply suppressed, hidden away under multiple layers of darkness kind of shadow. This is like right under the surface, and I feel like it may be there because you've been working on it. But it is about allowing yourself to hear your thoughts so that you can connect more with this energy. Okay? We have the card of resilience. Burn away the past. That really just, like, I instantly looked at this devil card. This is someone attacking you in the past. This rabbit is you, and this lynx is someone who has attacked you for whatever this shadow is. This, I'm really feeling like it is a critique upon your physical body. It is time to let go of that judgment, that person's criticism, that person's opinion of you, because that person's opinion of you does not need to be your opinion of you. Burn away that person, like, let it go. It could even be like a physical, like, banishing kind of spell, you know, like writing what you know your shadow to be, like, the hateful words that someone told you. Write it on a piece of paper and burn it. Like, let it go. It's not your energy anymore. We have Arenda. Honor your mystical creative force. And Epiphany. Reveal your gifts. That's very interesting. Once you can burn through this shadow, you know, light a fire safely. Because fire is also very illuminating, right? So I feel like working on this shadow and illuminating it, and maybe even, you know, doing some spell work into banishing this shadow will really allow you to step into this energy here, this honoring your mystical creative force and revealing your gifts. This could be you stepping into the energy of confidence and self-love and understanding your own power, okay, on multitudes of levels. Not just physical power, but, you know, spiritual, witchy kind of power too, okay? And then mystical shaman and fire. Yeah. This is, you may really connect with fire. You may really connect with, again, with this fire card, sensing witchy energy, sensing very feminine energy. This could also be you needing to connect with your ancestors. You know, perhaps you have heard the saying that we are the descendants from the witches that they couldn't burn. You may connect with that if you picked this pile. But I do feel like connecting with your divine feminine, connecting with that aspect of yourself, honoring the goddess within, honoring your body, no matter how curvaceous or straight you might be. Honoring yourself as a feminine being. Honor yourself. Honor your feminine side. If you are a male, it might be time to tap into your emotional side. It might be time to connect with that more quote unquote feminine side of you, to embrace who you are. And again, if you are feeling like you're a witch and you're a man, please know that the term witch is gender neutral. You do not need to be a wizard or a warlock. You can be a witch and be a guy. Okay? Didn't know if you knew that. But I do feel like there is a lot of magical gifts for those of you who have picked this pile. And I want you to embrace that side of yourself. I want you to not put that side of yourself in shadow anymore. Okay, pile 3. So that is your message if you picked deck number 3 for this shadow work pick. Pick a card. If you enjoyed this style of reading, please hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Love, light, and happiness to all of you. Have a fantastic day. Bye. Hello to all of you who picked pile number 4. We're going to start with your tarot cards in this Exploring Your Shadow Self Tarot and Oracle reading. So you have the 9 of Cups, the Chariot, the Lovers, the World, and the Queen of Cups. So your shadow, right off the bat, revolves around you not feeling like you are enough, not worthy of a relationship, not worthy of your dreams, not even, it's blocking you from even being inspired to go after these things. And I should say, inspired to go after these things to the level that you really dream of. You may be in a relationship, you may have a good career, you may have, things that you need, but you have the possibility to dream better. You are worthy of more. And I feel like you guys are very limiting in your self-belief as to what you are worthy of, what you can have. And you don't like to put yourself up on a pedestal. This could be because you were shamed as a child. It could be because you didn't like the attention. Maybe when you got attention, it was attention that you didn't like, whether it was negative attention or just attention in an overwhelming way. So now you don't like to put yourself up on a pedestal. You would rather kind of fade into the background. And with this Queen of Cups card here, with this imagery on this card, it's like you just keep swimming. That's all you got to do is just keep swimming to stay afloat. There is a beautiful raft right there, but you don't see yourself worthy of getting up onto that raft. You totally are, but that's where your shadow is blocking you. Your shadow might be blocking you to even seeing that raft exists. So I feel like a lot of this is you just downplaying who you are, downplaying your achievements, downplaying the possibilities, and just not seeing your true worth, your true potential. You are capable of so much more than what you currently believe you are, okay? We have To the Sea, which is interesting with the Queen of Cups and this moose just swimming along. And also the Chariot with the imagery on this card of the orca. Actually, we have a lot of water imagery here. We've got pretty much everything except for this 9 of Cups, which is the butterfly. So it's like, it is like you guys feel like you're drowning in your current circumstances. Like it might, it feels heavy, like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. And instead of seeing the water, the sea, the ocean as this beautiful, abundant, limitless thing. You're seeing it as imposing. You know, you might see it instead of a wave for surfing, you're seeing it as a tsunami that's going to destroy everything. Like it says, it's that point of view where you may feel drawn to the water, but then you also are afraid of it. But it's about embracing. It's about embracing the possibilities. You know, the ocean is so vast. It's so limitless in a way. We have only just begun to explore the oceans here on Earth. I remember reading a statistic that we know more about outer space than we do about the depths of our own oceans. And it's like it's like that, like you're blinded to the ocean, which is you. In this case, it is your deeper, darker desires. You know about the desires of what is around you, of your friends, your family, but it's like you're afraid to look within, to the depths of yourself, to find out what those desires are. Whether this is because, again, like whether you were shamed for your desires, or whether you were given, like negative reinforcement for it, or just ignored for these desires altogether throughout your childhood. It's like you may have wanted praise for what you're good at, but you never got it, and therefore you just kind of suppressed that and never even thought about it again. You have the card of play. Have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. Yeah, I feel like you guys do take yourselves very seriously. It is, you know, you're very analytical. You are someone who, you know, likes to cross every T, dot every I. You got your ducks in a row. Let's see, can I think of any other little cliche phrases for that? But you know, it's that kind of energy. You like to make sure that things are perfect, probably perfectionist, and that within itself is another downfall, because reaching for perfection is something that's very difficult. It's something that is very hard, and we can't always reach perfection. And when we get close, our idea of what perfection is quite often changes. Okay? You have the card of Samadhi, which is perfect acceptance. Paradisical, you belong to paradise. And Maximus, how can you feed others when your own table is empty? So again, right in the middle here, perfect acceptance. It's not about being perfect. It is about being acceptable. It is accepting what you are capable of in the moment. You may not have all the skills that you need right now, and that's okay. But it's as long as you don't stop progressing, as long as you don't stop growing. If you don't have the skills that you need now, you can always learn them. You can take online classes, you can take physical classes, you can learn independently, whether through reading or watching YouTube videos or, you know, whatever it might be. But when you stagnate and you stop growing and you just get complacent with where you are, then this idea of belonging to paradise with this paradisical card is kind of lost to you, because you're just accepting that what is all that there is. But there is more, but you have to be willing to accept more. But then with this Maximus card, this is also, you know, like I was saying before, it's like you know the dreams and the aspirations of everyone else, but you're afraid to look to see what yours are. So how are you supposed to reach your goals? How are you supposed to reach your dreams if you're not feeding yourself, if you're not putting food on your own table, you know, metaphorically? You are helping other people reach their dreams, but who is helping you reach yours? Okay. And then your numerology card is our cards, our 74, nature, and 99, compassion. Compassion to yourself is a big one here, guys. And with nature, I feel like this is a lot of connecting with nature. Again, lots of water energy here. So whether you are a water sign, or if you just relate to water, you may be a sea witch, you may be just someone who's always been drawn to the water. You might like water creatures like whales, dolphins, mermaids, that kind of thing. So it's connecting back with that passion, even if it is an aspect of folklore like mermaids, connecting to that passion and feeding that passion. If that passion gets you nowhere other than joy and excitement, then so be it. That is a wonderful thing to have in your life. But we do have to act with compassion to ourselves. That's the big one. I feel like you guys already are very compassionate to other people, but it is the compassion that you need to give to yourself, which is very important here. And when you can give that compassion to yourself, then this energy here of the Chariot, of the Lovers of the World, will open up to you. It's putting yourself up on this pedestal that I was talking about in the beginning and not needing to shy away. Being proud of your accomplishments, being proud of what you have done, and having fun with what you're doing. You have the card of Smoky Mirror, Wind, and Earthkeeper. Okay, yeah. With the wind card, like I'm hearing, like, you know, just let the wind blow through your hair. You know, on a windy day when you just let the wind come across you, it's almost cleansing. It's like the air is cleansing as it goes across your body. And that's what I'm really sensing with this wind card, is just using nature. Again, we had the nature card to help cleanse your spirit. This could be, you know, getting out to the ocean and having the ocean breeze across you, or, you know, if you're landlocked, maybe you can do it by a stream or a mountaintop or wherever you happen to be. With the Smoky Mirror, I'm feeling like this is actually very interesting with this card here, because paradisical, she almost looks like she's, you know, enveloped in smoke. And it's like you can't see who you are through the smoke. So you need to clear the smoke away. Clear the fog, clear what you've been. And it's like you've purposely put this smoke around you so that it is obscuring who you truly are. With this Earthkeeper card, I'm feeling a lot of very powerful Earth Mama type energy, very powerful green witch, nature witch kind of thing. Someone who really connects to the earth. And I want you to embrace that side of yourself. That might be a side of yourself that you have been suppressing, your more natural side. If you've wanted to look into, say, herbology, herbal healing, or even like crystal work, Reiki, what else am I feeling like? Just things that really attune to the energy of the earth. I feel like that would be really beneficial for you, whether this is something that you have always wanted to do and have suppressed because, you know, maybe it doesn't fit your corporate 9-to-5 lifestyle that you've created for yourself. But now is the time. If that is something that you want to pursue, now is the time, okay? It's about embracing yourself, connecting back with nature. I feel like getting out in nature for you guys. Again, very strong connection to water, but getting out into nature will really help you along this journey. Whether being out in nature will allow you to clear your head and therefore allow some of these shadows to be illuminated, or if nature is just kind of your happy place, which then allows you to ground yourself and be more confident to move forward. I am feeling like nature and the environment is really important for you, group number 4. Okay? So ultimately, your total message is that your shadow is blocking you from either reaching for your dreams or even seeing the potential that your dreams could have. Don't be afraid to dream big, okay? You can dream big, but make sure you are providing yourself with the compassion and the nourishment that you need. And nourishment on all levels, not just food, but spiritually, mentally. Make sure you're nourishing your whole essence, okay? Connecting with nature and just having fun in the process. I feel like for you guys, shadow work may not be as hard as it was for other groups. I think it was group number 2, which I felt was going to have a very hard time with this shadow work. For you guys, I feel like it could almost be seen as a challenge that you are like willing to accept and go for. Especially if you're someone who really likes to challenge themselves, now is the time to do this aspect, to check in with your shadow self and use what you find fun to work through this. Whether this is, committing yourself to say 30 days to do shadow work around a specific topic. Like with the Lover's card here, this could be shadow work around how you feel you appear as a lover. Give yourself 30 days and see how much you can do in 30 days. There is no ultimate end goal, but it's just about what you can challenge yourself to do in those 30 days. You can even start off with a week or whatever. I just feel like I want you guys to have fun with it. And I feel like for some of you, turning it into a challenge or even getting your friends involved, like it might not be like a shadow work challenge, but it could be meditation. See if a bunch of your friends want to get together and meditate or document their journey meditating together. That might be fun. So those are your messages if you picked this 4th deck. Again, connecting with nature, so important for you guys, and just trusting that you are capable and worthy of so much more than you are currently experiencing, okay? So that is your message if you picked pile number 4 for this Exploring Your Shadow Side Tarot and Oracle reading. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Love, light, and happiness to all of you. Have a fantastic day. Bye.